everybody. Welcome to the Cafe of Knowledge. Of course, this is week 4 for inventory. This is our inventory video. And of course, you know, we also do a video with me and Jay, Jose. We have videos on relationships, hot topics, community relations, just everything that pertains to us as our everyday life. Everybody out there that's dealing with day-to-day things on their mind and everything like that. So this video is our inventory video, and we are on week 4, level 4. Y'all doing good. Y'all moving up there. Y'all moving up now. You're climbing up the ladder. So we are doing chapter 1, which is inventory, and this is week 4, level 4. And you know, in our previous videos, we had level 1, week 1, week 2, level 2, week 3, level 3, and this is week 4, level 4. Okay, so we can move, I think we can move a little bit faster now that we're on level 4. We can probably move a little bit swiftly. We're going to do that. And remember that you have to have save all of your work that we have done from week 1 all the way now to week 4, and you want to continue holding on to these notes and these charts and everything that we're doing, because you can always refer back to that. It doesn't matter how long it is. You know, everybody have to refer back to something. I know I do. Sometimes, you know, it doesn't matter how good you are, or, you know, you always can go back and look at some notes and just refresh your memory on some things. So always hold on to these notes and these charts and these studies that we are doing. Keep them in a binder, a folder, a file, or something. But hold on to them so you don't be lost as we progress into the higher levels, okay? So just make sure you do that. Always remember that these inventory videos will come out on Tuesdays. I don't know, it will be a Tuesday morning or something, like Tuesday early in the afternoon time. So just make sure you click subscribe. That way, when I do send out a video, you'll get notification on the video is out. Okay, so what we are going to start off today with the week 4, level 4. As you know, last week we ordered a truck for week 3, and your truck should be coming in. So we're going to act like your truck has already arrived from the order we did last week, after you did inventory last week. So we're going to act like the truck is at the back door and everything. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to open up the door. You already know we greet the truck delivery person, he or she, and then we proceed into checking to make sure that our items is correct, we have the right amount, and that it's no damages done to the goods that we're looking for. We talked about how to check the truck, check for damages and all that good stuff in the prior weeks. Okay, so now the truck has arrived. And then, you know, everything is good, no damages, you know, they send everything right. So now it's time for us to sign the invoice. You sign the invoice after you check to make sure everything is okay. And remember, we talked about if anything is damaged on the truck that is sent to you or to your store, you are supposed to deduct that from the invoice and send it back. So you would have to adjust your invoice to, no, I didn't get 5, I only got 4 because 1 was damaged, and then you adjust your price. And after you adjust your price, then you have that truck driver sign it, and then you sign it. The truck driver initials where the mistake is, and then you initial. And then that's when you put your invoice into the computer are on your inventory account and receivable sheet. Okay, so now last week after inventory, we ordered milk. We ordered 8 of them. Sweet potatoes, you ordered 9. Sugar, you ordered 12. Ground beef, you ordered 9. Body wash, you ordered 6. Bleach, you ordered 5. And purse, you ordered 3 of them. And dog food, you ordered 15 bags. Okay, so then that truck driver will give you your invoice. And then, of course, your invoice, we talked about this all week, your invoice will look like this, okay? That's how your invoice will look. And you will have your taxes and a delivery and all that good stuff. So what you would do is you would sign that, and then after you get through with it, what do you do next? You put it on your accounts receivable sheet, correct? And your accounts receivable sheet always looks like this. This is how our accounts receivable sheets look. This is your accounts receivable. So you remember we got 8 milks, and you will put 8 in that slot, and then you will put how much it costs for all 8 of them, which is $16, okay? We don't worry about the inventory side yet because we haven't counted that yet, and we haven't got to that. But we're just focusing on accounts receivables right now. Just accounts receivables, and that's how you input everything on your accounts receivables. And remember, milk goes in the dairy, on the dairy sheet, and then your potatoes go on a produce sheet. Your purse will go in the accessory sheet. Your body wash will go in the HBA sheet. And that's how we do that. And you will go one by one. Now let me explain something to you guys. In your store or in your facility, business, or your own business, wherever you're working, and you're doing accounts receivable, we are putting it on sheets so I can show you how it's done. Most of the time, you're going to input the accounts receivable inside of a computer. Okay, you're going to go to the office at your job or whatever, and you're going to you're going to go into accounts receivable, and then where it says milk, that probably set up in the system as in the dairy area. You're going to put milk, and then you're going to put 8 of them that you got, and then you're going to put the price, and then after you put the price should line up in the computer the same way it lines up on your invoice, which is $16. The milk on the computer should say $16 after you punch it in. If it does not say $16, you need to stop and check your prices, because maybe the price went up on milk last time, and in the computer it still has a different price than it has on your invoice. So then you would have to adjust the price inside of the computer and say, hey, it's no longer, because we pay $2 for milk, and maybe the computer have $1.50 because that's the last time that's what it cost the last time you purchased milk. But now the vendor has went up to $2 this week, and you're going to have to put $2 in as your retail price, because if you don't check the price, it won't balance out. If the computer price is different from the invoice price, it's not going to balance out. It's not going to even out at all. So just make sure to remember that when you are putting invoices inside of the computer, when you look at the price after you put it in there, and that price doesn't add up to what you have in your hand on the invoice, you have to start checking prices. You have to start checking the prices on each and every item until you find that item that there is a price change. And then that way it balances out. But that's accounts receivable. It's just like accounting. So now you learn a little touch of accounting, because that's what it does. You have to have that computer match up to your invoice price that you have in your hand. If it doesn't match up, you have to go through each item and see where is the price change or what's the price difference. And then you have to adjust that, okay? So now that we got that out the way. So now we are inputting everything into accounts receivable. And like I said, we are doing it on sheets because that's the way that we need to do this. And then as we put it on sheets, and you know how to put them on sheets, of course you know how to put them on a computer. Okay, the computer part is just a breeze. You already know all that. You just need to know how to do it. So milk we put on the accounts receivable sheet. And then we go to sweet potatoes. And I'm just going to show you 2 pages. And after that, you can input them on there the way you know they're supposed to go. And then you put sweet potatoes. You know, we get them at $1 wholesale. We ordered 9. And our total price is $9. Okay? Our total price is $9 for sweet potatoes. We don't worry about the inventory part yet because we haven't got to that. Okay, so and that's sweet potatoes go on a produce sheet because sweet potatoes is produce. Okay, so now everything that you got on that invoice from the truck, you need to put it on to your accounts receivables. I'm not going to go through all that right now. You guys by now know how to do that. So what you do is, like we say all the time, you pause or you stop the video for a few seconds and then you record everything from your invoice onto your accounts receivables. And then after that, you have completed putting all the items from the invoice onto your accounts receivable. Then you can start the video back and then you can continue. So, okay, now that you have put all of the invoice items onto your accounts receivable, what do we do next? Okay, the next thing we do is we put it on our inventory count sheet. Okay, and everybody know what the inventory count sheet is. So after we put everything on your accounts receivables and you have put it on your sheet, then the next step is we go to your inventory count sheet. And you remember how your inventory count sheet, usually this is the sheet that you pull out when you're getting ready to start your counting. When you're getting ready to go around your store to start counting your inventory, it's usually on a sheet like this that you just put on a clipboard and you just walk around the store and you count your items or what's left in your store. Okay? Well, as you notice on the inventory sheet, it has an on hand and then it has order received. Then it has total on hand. Then it has ending count. And we haven't counted yet, so we don't worry about that right now. Then it says total sold, order needed, and par level. So right now, when you're grabbing out your inventory sheet, after you have put everything onto your accounts receivable sheet, you grab your inventory count sheet. You print it out, however, and you put it on your clipboard, and then you fill in all the columns. On hand. Remember in week 3, we had 7 milks left. And then we ordered 8. That's what the truck just bought us in. So all together we have total on hand 15. So 15 is in your store right now. Right? And let's go to the next one. Sweet potatoes. You had 1 left in your store after you did inventory for week 3. And then so we ordered 9. And the truck came with 9. So our total on hand of sweet potatoes is 10 that we have in the store. So you just go all the way down to your dog food and you complete it, right? And it has the next one is end count, but we haven't counted the store yet to see what our end count on everything is. I just have it filled in. Okay, so then you make sure that you put everything on your invoice count sheet. And like we do, always just pause the video, stop it for a few seconds, fill in your inventory count sheet, and you're going to fill it in all the way to total on hand. You don't fill in the ending yet, the end count, because we haven't counted inventory for your store just yet for week 4. Okay? So now, once you have input that onto your inventory count sheet, usually when you print this sheet out on your computer, because you have already put in your accounts receivables, you done already put in the computer what you have. You did inventory last week. It told you what was left in the store because you put it in there. And then it told you how much you have from the truck. When the truck bought that item in, it'll add all that together, and the computer will give you your total on hand when you print your inventory sheet out. When you print that inventory sheet out to go count everything in your store, that computer most likely have already calculated what you have on hand in your store. But like I said, I show you all step by step how to do it and how the computer is calculating it. That way, if anything goes wrong with the computer, you know how to do it anyway, because you have already did it manually and you know how to do it with the computer as well. So, you have filled out your inventory count sheet, okay? So now that you have filled out your inventory count sheet, then let's say that your store has been running now for about a week now. So let's say week 4 is almost ending. We're going to use our imagination and act like the store has been running a week now so far. Okay? Now it is time to count inventory. Now, always remember, we count inventory at the end of each week. Okay? Each month. And each month has 4 weeks in it. You have a week 1, a week 2. Like the first week of September, that's week 1. The second week of September, that's week 2. The third week of September, that's week 3. The fourth week of September, that's week 4. And week 4 is the end of the week. It's the end of the week, and it's also what? The end of the month. Okay? So it's the end of the month, week 4. We at the end. This is the last week in September, and we're going to do inventory. Okay? So now, let's count. So each month, don't forget now, each month, when October comes, then October is the first week of October is week 1. The second week of October is week 2. The third week of October is week 3. The fourth week of October is week 4. And you just continue that cycle all the time for inventory. Each month has 4 weeks of inventory in it. Okay? So, now that we have put everything on our inventory count sheet and you got it together, do anybody know what's next? Yeah, you're right. Correct. It's time for us to go around the store and, of course, count inventory. Okay? So, we're going to go around the store and you're going to count inventory. And I'm going to call it out for you, and you're going to put on your inventory count sheet where it says ending count, right there. Where it says ending count, when I call it out, you're going to put the numbers down by that item, what we have left in your store. Okay? So now, milk, we going around the store and we went to your dairy department and we counted and we have 2 milk, right? Okay. So then we walks around to your produce department and we counted your sweet potatoes. You only have 7 left. Then we went over to your food department and we counted the sugar, and you only have 6 left. Then we went around to your meat department and we counted ground beef, and you only have 4 left. Then we went around to your body, your HBA, where you have your body wash and stuff like that. We counted the body wash and you only have 9 left. Okay? And then we went around to your chemical department where the bleach is at. And then we counted bleach and you only had 3 left. Then we went to the accessory apartment and we counted the purse. And you only have 8 left. Then we went to the pets department and then we counted your dog food, and the only dog food you have left is 2 left. Okay? So then you fill those in, and those are your ending counts. Okay? And then you can go back to the office or wherever you are where you're comfortable, and then you'll sit down and you'll fill out your total items sold. And so you have finished counting inventory, and now you got to put your total items sold. So for milk, when we counted, we only had 2 left. You see the total on hand? We had 15. So once we counted inventory, we only had 2 left. That means your total items sold was 13. That means you sold 13 milks. And your order that you need to order now is 13. And because your par level is 15 on milk. So you got to get back to that 15. So you ordered 13. Now let's do sweet potatoes. At the end of our count, you had 7 left in your store. That means you sold 3 because you started with 10. And now you need to order 3 so you can get back to the number 10, which is your par level. Okay? And so you're going to fill all of those out. And like I said, you can pause it and you can stop. And I have all the numbers filled in for you. As you see, as I put it up there, you see I got everything filled in, but try to do it on your own without looking at what I filled in. Okay, because that's the only way you can learn. Because if you're just filling in what I have, then you're really not comprehending and understanding how this process go. Okay, so you're going to pause it, stop, whatever you want to do, then come back after you have filled in everything on your inventory sheet. Okay, now once you have filled everything out on your inventory sheet, okay, your inventory sheet already tells you, when you fill it out, it already tells you order needed. It already tells you what you need to order for your truck so it can arrive by the first week of October when you start doing, because this is the end of September, this is the end of our September inventory, but it still rolls over to October. It's just that October will become week 1. Okay, but we keep the same numbers. Everything just transfer over and just keep going in the same cycle. Okay, so you will see on your inventory count sheet where it says order needed. Everything in the order needed column, is what you would need to order from your truck. Okay, and then that's when you would make that order. So that order will be here by October, the first week of October, when you start doing your inventory. So now with your inventory sheet, now that you know your ending count and you know the total items sold and all that, then you go back to your accounts receivable sheet, and then you fill in that inventory part that I said, don't worry about that right now. We're not on that right now. You're going to go back to your inventory sheet and you're going to fill in the inventory part. And that's on milk. Your on hand was 15. That's what you started with. Your retail price that you sell it for is $4. We remember, you look over here on accounts receivable from the truck, we paid $2 for it, right? But we sell it to the customers for $4. Okay? And then you see your ending count is 2. You're going to fill in that inventory part. And then your total sold is 13. And your dollar amount sold, if you sold 13 and you selling them at $4 a piece, then that means that your dollar amount sold is $52. Okay? And then need to order 13. We know that because we filled in our inventory count sheet. So we know that you're just going to transfer your inventory count sheet onto this sheet, which is your accounts receivable and inventory sheet. Okay, and fill in the inventory part. Then it tells you your order needed is 13 and your par level is 15. Okay, so you're going to go through each sheet like that. Okay, and you're going to make sure that you fill in each sheet. I'm going to do one more sheet for you. And that's the sweet potatoes. Okay, remember our sweet potatoes? Okay, you're going to take your inventory count sheet and transfer it. You're going to take this sheet right here, your inventory count sheet, and you're going to transfer it over to this after you finish counting your inventory. And you're going to put the on hand, the retail price for sweet potatoes is $5. You pay $1 for it from your vendor from the truck, but you charge $5 for it in your store. Okay, the ending count after we just finished counting inventory is 7. The total sold is 3 because you had 10, and if you ended with 7 in your store, then that means you sold 3. And then the dollar amount sold is 15. Why is it 15? Because you sold 3, and they cost $5 a piece. Okay, so that's $15. Need to order, you need to order 3 because you need to keep 10 in your store. So because the par level is 10. So you order 3. Okay, so now you need to pause or stop like we always do, and you fill in each one of your accounts receivable inventory sheet until you have it completed and done all the way to the dog food. After you get through doing that, then you can come back and continue or hit continue on the video, and then we will finish up from there. Now, okay, now that you have done that, okay, what we are going to do now is we are going to add up. Let's see how much you spent on each item and the profit you bought in. Okay, so let me show you that. On your inventory, accounts receivable and inventory sheet, this is the milk. Now that you have filled the accounts receivables filled in, your inventory is filled in. Okay, now let's see what you spent, what you received in sales, and how much profit you made on that item. Okay, so let's start with this, and this is milk. Okay, and your milk. See how I have it now? Down at the bottom, you're going to put total spent. You spent, what, $16 on milk this week. And you remember your dollar amount sold is $52. So your total profit on milk this week was $36. Okay, that's not too bad. Now let's try your sweet potatoes, and then I'll call them out for you. Okay, your sweet potato. Okay, we're going to do what you spent and what you received. So, you put it down at the bottom. Total spent, $9. Your total sale that you received was $15. So your total profit on sweet potatoes for that week was $6. Okay? And then you're going to go through each and every one of those, and I'm going to call them out for you, and let's see how you did on each item for its profit. Then the next one is sugar. Okay? You spent $18 on sugar. You sold $27 worth of sugar. So your sugar profit is $9 for week 4. Okay? Now, the total spent for ground beef. You spent $27. You sold $42 worth of them. So your profit for ground beef for that week is $15. Okay? As long as you're making a profit, you're not losing any money, you're not negative $15 or you know, you're doing good as long as that number is not a negative loss number. Okay? So, you know, a little bit of profit is still good, you know. You on body wash, you spent $3 on body wash this week in week 4, and you sold $2 worth of body wash. So that's a negative $1 because you bought body wash this week for $3, but you only sold $2 worth. So that means negative $1. Okay? So when you see a negative $1 something, that's when you try to come up with a plan to get people to buy that body wash. When people come up to the register or anything like that, you try to get your cashiers to upsell the body wash. You would tell them, hi, did y'all see the body wash we have? It's the new scent, cocoa, whatever, you know. And then they'd be like, oh, no, I didn't see that. Well, yeah, they right over here. Or you put a couple of bottles by the register, and when people check out, you say, hey, we have the body wash here. Would you like to buy some body wash? And people say no. That's what you call trying to upsell it. You're trying to sell an item because you don't want negative numbers. You don't want to lose money, so you try to push the item to sell. Push the item for people to buy it, right? You don't want to put it on sale yet. We haven't got that far down the road yet. So we're not going to put the item on sale. I tell you guys when we put items on sale. But that's not for week 4. That's a little bit up the ladder, okay, when we get into more weeks as our weeks grow. But as the body wash this week in week 4 is at a negative $1, that's when you probably just want to put a couple of them by the register. And I don't know if you ever went to the store and the cash register people, they have at the register, you'll have different little items sitting right there by the cash register. And then people, the cashier will say, hey, would you like to try some of this body wash? And you say, yeah, no. And some people say, yeah. And then they buy it, and then that sells a little bit more body wash. Instead of body wash probably way back in the corner somewhere in the store, maybe people haven't really seen it. So then you'll bring a couple of them up to the register and then have that cashier promote that item so that you can sell a little bit more of them, so you won't have a negative number every week. Okay? So, that's it. So, in body wash, you lost $1. Negative $1. Okay? Now, in the bleach, you spent $5 for bleach, and you sold $28 worth of bleach. So, you have a profit of $23 on bleach this week. Okay? Now, the total spent for purse, you spent $12 and you sold $20 worth. So your total profit on purse is $8. Okay? Then you have dog food. You spent $75. You spent $75 on dog food this week. And because you ordered 15. And they $5 a piece. So you spent $75 on dog food this week, and you sold $260 worth of dog food this week. So your profit for dog food this week for week 4 is $185. So you made $185 profit off of your dog food, which is not bad, which is good, okay? So that's how you would do that, okay? Now, what we are going to do, since it's the end of the week, right? Now that you know how much each item you spent and how much item that you sold and how much of a profit you got off each item. Each item you did good. You made a little profit, except for when we got to body wash, you had a negative $1. You lost $1. Still not too bad, but the goal is you don't even want to lose 2 cents. Okay, you don't want to start losing money. Okay, now, so what we do is, since it's the end of the month, you have to add now everything for that whole month. You have to add what you spent that whole month, and then what you bought in sales that whole month, and then what your profit was for that whole month. Okay? So what that means is we would have to go back to week 1, then week 2. We got to go back and we have to grab for September. We got to go back and grab week 1. You got to go back and grab week 2. You got to go back and grab week 3. And then we already are doing week 4. Okay? So you just have to add up week 1, how much did you spend, and how much did you receive in from your sales, and how much profit you made in week 1. Okay? And then you have to go the same way for week 2, week 3. Now, let me show you how that looks. This is your monthly sheet. It tells you, you see it has week dollar spent, week dollar sold, week dollar lost, week profit. Okay? And then you'll see on the other side, it's the total month. And we're not doing the total month yet because we'll wait till we add up all 4 weeks together. And then we'll put, because that's for the month, and then we'll fill in that area over there. Okay? So for right now, this is week 1, September 1. So you're going to grab all your papers from week 1 and add them up and see how much dollars that you spent in week 1, and then how much you sold, and then did you lose any money or did you profit any money? So for week 1, I already did it. For those who don't have their week 1 sheets, I'm going to do it for you this time, but make sure you hold on. That's why I said hold on to all your weeks so you would know how to add up each week to see how much in the total month that you spent, how much you sold, and how much profit you made for that entire month. Okay, so this one right here, so this is how the sheet's supposed to look. So you know that you need to have one of these sheets for next month, because we're going to need to do this again at the end of next month, October. Okay, we'll just be pushing a whole lot more, and you will be learning and grasping a whole lot more than you did from week 1 to week 4. We just did the beginning steps, okay? And they all are easy. It's nothing hard. The rest of the weeks are going to be exactly like this. You're just going to have a lot more items, okay? So, for week 1 in September, I went back to week 1 and grabbed all week 1's paperwork, and then we totaled it up, and you had $280. Now you had $180, okay? You had $180 is what you spent. $180 is what you spent in week 1, okay? And then you sold $405 worth of things in week 1. and you had a profit of $225. Because if you spent $180 in week 1, you see it? If you spent $180 in week 1, and then you sold $405 of stuff in week 1, then you made a profit of $225. Okay, so let's do the next one. Okay, week 2. I'm going to show you week 2, and then I'll call out the rest of them for you. Week 2. Okay, week 2, you spent $141.50. And then you sold $439 worth of stuff in week 2. Okay, so that gave you a profit of $297 profit. Because in week 2, for the whole week, you only spent $141.50 on all your food and stuff. But you sold $439 worth of things. So that means that you made a profit of $297 for week 2. Okay? And then you will go on from week 3, and then you would do week 3, which I'm going to do week 3 right now for you. Week 3, I'm going to show you that. Week 3. Okay, in week 3, you spent $154. That's in week 3. And then you bought in, you sold $438. So you made a profit of $284 in week 3. Okay, and then you would do week 4, which we are doing right today. You would do week 4, and week 4 is the same thing. For this week, we spent $165. Okay, and then you bought in $446 for week 4. And you made a profit of $282 in week 4. So that's pretty good. So you didn't lose any money. You made a pretty good profit in week 1 through week 4. Okay? And then for the entire month, remember when we said on that opposite side, you have to put what you made for the entire month. For the entire month, that's when you add in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. You're adding the whole month up. Okay? You're going to take all those, and you're going to add the whole month up. And the whole month, you spent $640.50 for the whole month of September. Okay? And then you sold $1,728 worth of things. And your total month loss was that $1. Remember that $1 that you lost on body wash this week. We was doing good until this last week. We was minus $1 on body wash. So you're going to put profit loss $1. And that's when the total month profit, you got $1,087.50. Okay? So that's how you do that. And then after you finish doing that, you would put all of week 4 and everything that you added up for your profits and your loss and what you spent. You're going to put all this inside of what? That September file. Okay? Because now September is done with. But you do know how much money for the whole month you spent and how much money for the whole month you bought in. And you know how much profit you made for the month of September. Okay, so those numbers is, you spent $640.50 for the whole month of September. That's how much you spent getting in all your stuff for the whole month. And you bought in $1,728. Okay, you lost only $1 this month off of body wash. And your total monthly profit, you got $1,087.50. So that's still a good profit that you made. Okay, so that's just how you do that. And then you take all of your paperwork and you put all of your paperwork inside your September file. Remember, we talked about that in the previous videos, and if you didn't know about that, you might want to go back to the previous videos of week 1, week 2, and week 3, and we discussed how to make a file and put a September file, and then you put all these paperworks in September. That way, if you ever have to go back to September, you can go back to that September 2020 file and see what's going on. Okay, that's the purpose of keeping the file, so you can always refer back to that month. And say, just for instance, I'm gonna test you a little bit. Say for instance that it's a year later, and then it's September of 2021. After you get through with 2021, then you can compare 2021 in September against September 2020 numbers. You can compare how well did I do last September, how well did I do this September. Okay, so that's the purpose of seeing what you did September. This is September 2020 now. So in September 2021, after you get through with that whole month, you can see if you made more money in 2021 in September than you did in 2020 September. And if September 2020 wind up making more than September 2021, then you might need to refer back to September 2020 and see what it is that you could do better to push this September up a little bit more in sales. So that's how you compare what's going on. That's why you always save your files, because you always want to refer back and see how well you're doing for that month or for that year or for 2 years from now. You can go back 2 years from now, from September, and see what you did 2 years later in September and 2 years in the past of September. And then just weigh yourself and weigh the store and weigh your sales and see which one is doing better. And whichever one is doing better, you stay with it or refer back to it. Okay? So that's the purpose of keeping files. You just don't do these things and then throw them in the trash can. That's not how they go. Okay? It's for your records and for you to become better and for the store to grow profits. That's why you save these files. Okay? So now, you're going to put week 4, we are done with week 4. We're done with September 2020. Okay, so then you're going to put that in the September 2020 file, and then you're going to just make a whole new empty file that says October 2020. Okay, and then we'll start October, as we get to that level. Okay, now that we have completed that, what is the thing that we need to do next before we are done? We have to call in a truck order. Remember, because when we just did inventory, our inventory count sheet told us what we need to order for this week. Okay? And so we need to go ahead on and order that. So our inventory count sheet told us that we need to order 13 milks. Let me show you. So remember, after your inventory count sheet, after we counted your inventory, it told us exactly what you need to order. And that's the column next to the last column, say order needed. And it said we needed to order 13 milks, 3 sweet potatoes, 9 sugars, and you just go on from there. And that's when you pick up the phone and you call your vendor, which is NJ Foods or whatever, and you call that vendor and you say, hey, I need to make an order. And they say, okay. And you'll say, I need milk. And we have to call in the item numbers. And sometimes, the item number on milk. And then you'll have to say how many you need, okay? Then you'll say, I need sweet potato, item 012. I need 3. Then you'll say, I need sugar, item number 001. I need 9. Then you'll say, ground beef, item number 214, I need 6. And you'll just go on down the line and call in your truck order. And remember, your item number is your UPC number. That UPC number and item number identifies that particular item that you have in your store. That way nobody is confused. Because if you call a vendor and you ordering something and you say, hey, I need milk. I need 13 of them. And they say, okay. And then they send you buttermilk. And you say, I ain't ordered this. And then they say, yeah, you say you wanted milk. And you said, but this ain't the milk I wanted. I wanted that milk. And they said, oh, well, we didn't know because you didn't say the item number. So the item number and the UPC number identifies that particular item. Okay? So that's why when you're making a truck order and you calling in things, you want to make sure that that item number, even if you are sending it to the vendor by email, your order. If you're emailing your order to the vendor, you make sure that that item has that UPC number / item number. They both are the same. Make sure that's on the side of that item. Then you tell them how much you need. Okay? Because you don't want to get your things confused. Like you say, I want dog food. They might send you cat food. I didn't order that. Well, you just said dog food. We didn't know. Well, we didn't know if you wanted the dry dog food or the canned dog food. We didn't know if you wanted the bagged dog food or you wanted canned dog food. So that keeps down from you getting your orders messed up where you can't use it. And you would always say or identify that item by its UPC number or its item number. Okay, so now that you done finished, you called your truck order in and you are done, and your truck order be here next week. Okay, now let's talk about next week. So now you are done for week 4. That's great. You have officially completed 4 weeks. Done very well, I must say. You completed all 4 weeks. So we are done with the week of with the month of September and the week 4 of September. Okay, so everything goes in that September file. Okay, so the next thing is, please review everything from week 3 to week 4 and how we we calculated what we made all month, what we spent all month, what our profit was for the month. Make sure you review all of those things. Go back to week 1 and check it out and review it all the way from week 1 to week 4 to make sure you got it kind of down pat and you kind of know what to do, a little clear, better understanding, a smooth understanding of how inventory goes. And these are the basics that you have already learned. This is the basics of how to do inventory, okay? And we will go into more about how to tackle it and strategize, and when things are missing and when the prices are different and all that good stuff. We're going to get into all that. But right now, just review week 1 and week 4, okay? And so what I'm going to do is, since we did week 3 and week 4 this week, next week when I come on, it's going to be all about answering everybody questions that they may have for week 3 and week 4. Because remember, I did the same thing after we completed week 1, week 2. I did a video that I answered and addressed everybody questions that they had concerning week 1 and week 2. So we're going to do that again next week. I'll be back and I'm going to be addressing any questions that you may have concerning week 3 and week 4. And if you still have any questions about week 1 and week 2, please put it down in the comment section. You can also email your questions to me at cafeofknowledge88@gmail.com. I've had a lot of people that they don't put their questions in the comment. Feel free. Everybody, just feel free, put it down there. You don't have to be embarrassed about it, or I don't want nobody to know I asked that. And then again, if that's how you feel, that's fine. You can email those questions and I will address them in the next video. Definitely, I will address every question that I have concerning week 3, week 4. And if you have any questions about week 1 through week 4, put it in there and I'll address that next week when I do the video. So next week's video will just be all about addressing anything, concerns or questions that you have that we have done in week 3, week 4, or either week 1 through week 4, okay? And that's what we're going to do next week. So once again, if you know anybody that needs a job, looking for a job, someone needs a better career, someone's dropped out of school and they trying to get a job or anything like that, anybody that you know, or somebody sitting on the couch and can't find a job, anybody that you know that you can help, please tell them about this inventory. And that way they can get some type of feel behind them. And like I said, we're just on chapter 1 of inventory right now. Then we go into chapter 2, which is like budgeting. Then we go into chapter 3, is which auditing. We're going to go into other different big steps, okay? So if you know anybody that needs it, please, please share it to them. Tell them to also like and subscribe. And we can get them going and everything. And like I said, there's some people who don't want to wait all this time to do the classes through video. You can always go on Google and you can look up Inventory Control Easy by Nichelle Jones and just order the book from there, and you can do the book yourself and you can go through it probably within 2 weeks. It has its own work charts too. It has its practice charts. It has everything that we are doing here that'll get you ready for that work field and to make more money. You can come off a minimum wage and you can start making salary wages, and then you can also get raises, okay? And then you can move up and own your own business, or you can get up into the corporate world, or you can become assistant manager or manager or general manager, whatever. That is what this course and this channel is all about, helping others. And all I ask is you just help someone else. I don't ask anything from anybody. All I ask is help someone else by letting them know about this video that can help them better their self. Okay, so I will see you next week, everybody, and everybody stay safe, and of course we will do our review next week. Bye bye.